Welcome in, everyone. I decided to do a quick short video. I'm trying to do more of these. This time about the Dynasty impact. We talked a little bit of redraft, but it's less important. Of Rashod Bateman's season ending foot injury. I know that he was a very popular Dynasty prospect coming out in the 2021 draft. Not as much for me. I definitely have gotten a reputation as a Rashod Bateman hater over the years. Year and a half, I guess. A lot of that was before the Ravens traded Hollywood Brown away to the Cardinals. I had always said that there really was not room for, it could be Mark Andrews and then one other player in this Ravens offense, not two others, one, and they had to get everything else. So when Hollywood Brown started out the 2021 season while Rashod Bateman was injured, Hollywood Brown got everything else. He was good. Then once Rashod Bateman came back, not so good. So, you know, yeah. I I would say that the big thing is that we have to look now at Rashod Bateman's career in a dynasty landscape perspective. He's had 2 years in the NFL, and in that time, he's played in 18 games. He has 96 targets and he has 61 receptions for 800 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he's averaging about 44 yards a game. Last year, he had 3.8 catches a game. This year, only 2.5. So this year was more big plays. Last year, a little bit more volume. But either way, he really has not been a consistent weapon throughout 2 years in the NFL. And this year, I think a lot of people expected after Hollywood Brown was traded that he would step up into a bigger role, which really has not happened. It really has not happened. He, averaged fewer receptions per game than Devin Duvernay, a little bit more in yards, and only a half reception a game more than Isaiah Likely. So not particularly impressed with Rashod Bateman this year. So what does this mean for the rest of this year? So Mark Andrews, as we know, is struggling with some injuries. I don't know if he's going to play this week, but he'll be back soon. If it's not this week, he will be the top weapon in this offense. The other guys, I think there's really two to discuss: Devin Duvernay and Isaiah Likely. Devin Duvernay, I think you couldn't start even Rashod Bateman before. Devin Duvernay is not as good of a player as Rashod Bateman. I do think that you'll be able to stream him in some matchups as a high-end wide receiver 4, but he's not the long-term answer. And when Rashod Bateman comes back next year, even though Rashod Bateman has struggled throughout 2 years in the NFL, he's still done more than Devin Duvernay when he's been on the field by a lot. So Rashod Bateman will come back in next year ahead of Devin Duvernay. Khalif Raymond or Isaiah McKenzie this week or Hines? I'll go with Isaiah McKenzie. I have Isaiah McKenzie at wide receiver 38 actually this week. So I'll go with McKenzie. But anyway, Devin Duvernay and Isaiah Likely will pick up the slack this year. Devin Duvernay, like I said, streaming wide receiver 4. This week I have Devin Duvernay at wide receiver 36 with a lot of buys. So even in a week with 6 bye teams, he's still only at 36. But Isaiah Likely is the interesting one. The tight end designation gives him some extra value. I do only have him at tight end 19 this week, but if Mark Andrews didn't play, Isaiah Likely would be a tight end 1. I'd probably have him at tight end 9, just ahead of Taysom Hill and right behind Tyler Higbee. I'd have him at tight end 9. I mean, without Mark Andrews, he would be a competition for the top passing weapon in this offense, and all of Andrews' targets would go away. So it would be a great opportunity for him. So he's actually the biggest value. I'm selling Devin Duvernay. We're going to get to that. Any third is good. And the reason for that is because Rashod Bateman's going to come back next year. And he's still going to be ahead of Devin Duvernay. He's still going to be ahead of Isaiah Likely, who also is a little bit of a sell for me. But he's a little bit different because Devin Duvernay is wide receiver. You can get those anywhere. He's just not someone I'm really relying on. I don't buy into him. I don't think he's a good player. I've never believed in him. If you can get a third for him, I'd just take it and move on. With Isaiah Likely, now he has the value of, the Dallas Goedert career path. I think Isaiah Likely is good. Problem is he's stuck behind Mark Andrews, but he has the tight end designation. So if he ever gets free, he could be, or if Mark Andrews were to go away, or if Isaiah Likely were to find another team at some stage, he would have a lot more potential value than Devin Duvernay. So Isaiah Likely, I'm holding on to just, for that value at the tight end position. And if Mark Andrews ever goes down, he could be a difference-making tight end. Whereas Devin Duvernay, like I said, even in the best case scenario, even if Mark Andrews doesn't play, Devin Duvernay is not going to be a top 30 wide receiver for me this week. So I'm out on Devin Duvernay. And the other reason I'm out on Devin Duvernay is because the Ravens have to see, and this is why I'm out on Rashod Bateman long-term, they have to see that it's not working. It's not working with Rashod Bateman as their number one wide receiver. They need another weapon that they can trust behind Mark Andrews. And I think they're going to make an effort to acquire one. No wide receiver is ever going to sign with the Ravens in free agency because it's a numbers death sentence in this offense. So the only way they're going to get one is to draft one. And they could do it again. They drafted Rashod Bateman in the first round 2 years ago. And, there's no reason why they couldn't draft another wide receiver in the first round next year. Or, I don't know if they could get someone to sign with them in free agency, but I do think they're going to acquire someone significant, either round 1 or round 2 next year. So these players, I'll go ETN for sure. ETN's a must start every week. You don't even consider him. Then Foreman is next with Chuba Hubbard out. I have him at running back 14. And then you're probably not going to like it, but I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift. I have him at running back 15. Sorry. I know a lot of people don't want to start Swift. But anyway, so they're going to acquire another wide receiver. So for that reason, I have Rashod Bateman. This might seem really low, but I have him, and honestly, maybe it's not that low. I have Rashod Bateman. Got to update these rankings here, but I've dropped Rashod Bateman outside of my top 40 wide receivers. I have him behind Juju Smith-Schuster even, and he comes in at wide receiver 41 in Dynasty. No problem. I just don't see the upside with Rashod Bateman. They're going to bring in someone else. He hasn't done it he didn't do it this year when he had the opportunity. He's not going to get the target opportunity again. And this Lamar Jackson offense is not changing. The Ravens are going to re-sign him to a long-term extension. And it hasn't looked that great. So Rashod Bateman is totally out for me in Dynasty. You don't need to sell now because he's out for the year. You can if you have to. What I would say is you want to sell before free agency, January or February. People see the name Rashod Bateman. He's the number one on the team right now. He still has first-round draft capital. People still like him because the second they bring in someone else, people won't like him as much. They'll want the shiny new toy. And as we talked about earlier, there's multiple other weapons to feed in the offense. He really will not deliver on a consistent basis. He's never going to be what we wanted. And this season-ending injury really kind of just kills his value for me. So, yeah, I would get out from under Rashod Bateman while you still can. And, as for what I would take in exchange, I mean, some comparable wide receivers. Like I said, I'd rather have Wan'Dale Robinson or Alec Pierce at this time. They are significantly lower in ADP. If you can somehow swing Jahan Dotson, I would love, or Treylon Burks, I would love to do that, but you probably can't. Other injured guys. And then I even have Juju Smith-Schuster higher. Those are just some. And I would still rather take my chances on like an Elijah Moore rebound if you can somehow swing that. Those are just some players who were ranked lower than him before the injury who you might be able to get. In terms of a pick, you're not going to get any first. I think I would take, it's tough. Early 23 second is just not that appealing, but I'd probably accept it if it were that or nothing. Mid to late, probably pass. But anyway, I appreciate everyone for watching this video. We will be back Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern with my weekly recap of live chat recap, whatever you want to call it, of week 9. And then I'll be around week 9. And then Ask DLF Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern will always be there. Simulcast on DLF channel and this one. Yeah, just if you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to hit the notifications bell to be notified about surprise content like this one. And yeah, I hope you all, I was about to say this, hope you all enjoy your Saturday and you have a good day of football on Sunday. And I will see you all later.